ZywOo is an incredibly hyped player in the community at the moment. He's joined up with 4 French legends in RPK, NBK, Happy and Apex to create Team Vitality, formerly known as Water Boys. So I want to take a look at some of the best clips from ZywOo, talk about his playstyle a little bit, and just see what this young 17-year-old really has to offer.
In a team sport, finding good teammates is crucial. Join a community of 700,000 users on DreamTeam to search for players who play for fun, play competitively, or want to go pro. Register on DreamTeam.gg today and stop playing with teammates who kill everything except the enemy. Find players, improve skills, and manage teams. DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building and skill growing platform.
To do this, I'm going to be looking at Water Boys or Vitality's most recent BO3 series against Spirit in an IEM Chicago qualifier. Spirit, probably a team you recognize from the major. So just for my general first impression, I would say ZywOo is obviously a talented player with some good aim, but he's a little bit of a loose cannon, getting over aggressive sometimes. And yeah, as I said, just a little bit loose with his playstyle. I'm really hoping though that working with these 4 more veteran players in the French scene, he can really learn a lot, almost get some mentorship, and he can turn to something potentially quite special. Obviously time will tell on that, but I think the potential is there. As we've all seen, obviously there is a reason behind why he has this hype going on. Now this first pistol round is going to be a great example of where he has to be reined in a little bit by his teammates, but it ends up working very positively for him. So you can see almost a little bit over aggressiveness here, but it ends up him being pulled back by his teammates. You can even see its comms in this scenario, and it ends up working quite well, getting quite a few kills. So they're going to enter onto the B site, force Coldie away, so that Spirit are now playing a B retake scenario. So ZywOo going first, clearing all these angles before eventually clearing the back site in Emo and Quad Box. But he's going to come back here and pass his teammate and get into this position. And this after plant setup is not great at the moment. You can see he even looks at his teammate, they're probably like, mate, you got to fall back towards quad now, because you see he's like, looks, okay, there's RPK, I got to come back here, and they're going to set up this after plant. This after plant right now is quite strong. We can see that RPK is going to be taking contact with the players coming through con, or if they come through CT, hopefully NBK can switch on towards this area. He's also got banana covered. But if they do come through this connector or construction position, RPK is going to get contact. ZywOo can hopefully peek out on his contact, and they can really lock down this area of the map. Similar if they come through CT, you've got Apex who can swing out different angles around these boxes here, and then obviously NBK can do whatever he needs to do from this banana position. So this after plant's quite strong for 4 players right now. RPK is going to be the first point of contact unless they come through banana most likely, but all these players are in position to swing. However, if ZywOo is where he was originally intended on being, this after plant's not quite as strong. RPK doesn't have cover from different positions. You got just RPK in the open, and the rest of his teammates ready to trade it once he takes contact, whereas this way, you're going to have 2 players more in the open, and it's not as good a trade position as ZywOo was sitting. So you can see he's been reined back by RPK, I think, because he looked at him as he fell back towards quad box, and I'll let this clip play out, but it ends up working very well for him. He's just going to wait for, as I said, the contact to be taken out. He's looking for, I mean, that happened, I forgot about that, but that's a great shot by him. He's a little bit aggressive still, but you can see he's playing very well with his teammates, delaying quite well, just jiggling around this quad box as you'd expect players to do. And he's a bit more passiveness, waiting for Apex before they swing together. And you can see he does move a lot as a player. It's going to be a common theme, but you can see he does play with his teammates quite well. It's just a double kill in the end there, a really nice shot in towards CT. You can see once he gets put in that new box position, he knows how to jiggle CT to protect RPK a little bit, because obviously that's where he's more exposed to in his position. And he knows how to hit these shots once he's there, but this little bit of doubt in where to play in this after plant position, he has to be told. And he'll learn this in time. So you can see both the incredible talent with some nice shots in this one, but also he just needs to be given that little bit of advice and that guidance to start off with. Once he's in position, he's ready to go. Now, as I'm sure you're all becoming aware or already know from watching some FPL games, ZywOo is not scared to take a fight. He doesn't shy away from any fights. He always wants to take that first point of contact if possible. So he's definitely not a beta of any kind, which is good, especially when you've got someone like Happy on your team. And we're going to see quite a ballsy play here. But again, this is a situation where I enjoyed the aggression. I really want him to embrace it. And I think he makes a good decision in this particular scenario. So the first one, obviously a little bit ballsy, just hold that angle with the flash blinding him out. But he's going to find a kill for it. I want to pause it right now and talk about what's going on. 5v3, you could be saying right now, well, ZywOo, maybe you just fall away. We can just play retake in this scenario. We're going to have a man advantage. We can probably win this retake and see a lot of utility on ZywOo, Happy as well. All these players have a lot of utility to retake this. However, NBK is still alive up here on Balk. So I'm hoping through ZywOo's head he's thinking, alright, I can jump back on top of Ticket Booth because potentially going to be fighting RPK, I can create space for RPK, and between the two of us, I'm not going to be able to watch everything at once. However, Spirit do a good job of having a dove cost posted onto this, and you can see ZywOo's going to go down along with RPK. So right now you're probably thinking, oh, well, that's not great. They could have potentially just fallen back, even if RPK goes down, play a 4v3 like you two, you're doing a good job. However, Apex, another man who's not scared to be aggressive, is doing the exact same thing at the similar time to ZywOo, and you can see he uses his own flash, he comes through, and using the space that RPK and ZywOo repeaking had created, he gets in here, he creates his 2v1 now. So you can see all these players being aggressive together, so I like it in this scenario, and I really enjoy the fact that ZywOo is prepared to go back in with his teammates still alive on the balcony. Now, having this aggressive style AWPer can be very beneficial at times for finding information, opening up sites, stuff like that. And we're going to see a great example right now as ZywOo rotates in towards the B site. You can see Spirit applying a lot of pressure there. He's going to peek out using these smokes and find of Cost's head. So that's a really nice shot to start off with. Obviously the smoke towards the end of apartments and the smoke thrown by MBK. He wants to find out what exactly is going on. Is there T players gathering up behind this? And he finds information and he punishes them for it. He's going to move in here towards short once the short player goes down. So he's just holding the angle waiting for any kind of push, but obviously once Happy goes down on short, he has to reposition. However, he wants to find these kills, so he's going to shoulder peek out quite nicely and find Colby just standing up there trying to punish the play. And obviously there's risk involved with that. He shoulder peeks quite nicely, Molotov's off short so he's not exposed to that area of the map. And also NBK was there to potentially punish in a kind of aggressive push coming out of apartments if they were to find ZywOo. So aggressive play from him overall, but again, one I don't mind, and one you can see he's definitely hitting the shots on, and he's got the 2 kills onto the Spirit players, evening this one up before, again, him and MBK get up here and towards apartment. He's going to sit up here where he can watch the bomb. He's going to eventually get smoked off as I fast forward this one, but he's in a very strong position to shut this down, both from apartments and anyone coming in towards short. So, as I said, MBK is still here. He's ready to clean up towards the rest of these players. And eventually the last player of Spirit's going to come up short, and ZywOo's going to find him. So another nice 3k, very aggressive play, as I said, could have been punished, but again, there's risk in everything. And this scenario with that Molotov on towards short, I think he plays it quite well. If you want to play this very aggressive style, you have to be aware of your surroundings as well. And this is something I think ZywOo has a little bit to work on. Obviously, young age should give him a little bit of pass on that one. But in this scenario here, it's going to be a great example, the most extreme example, where he's almost tunnel vision of finding the next fight, which we can see he loves to do, can be beneficiary with that information. But he's just going to jump out here, almost unaware of what could be going on. This was a relatively dry hit from Spirit, but he's not even checking Palace in this scenario. And Spirit have 4 players out here on towards the A site. RPK's fighting in towards Tetris, he's playing a retake setup, and ZywOo's almost too focused on taking the next fight. He's going to jump out here, and you can see he's not really going to get anywhere. I'm not sure where he wants to go, but Spirit players are going to punish him wide out in the open. And this is, again, just a little bit of something that you wouldn't see for someone like Simple. Again, a very extreme example, obviously the best player in the world, but someone very aggressive with the AWP, so I think the comparison fits a little bit, although it is a little bit extreme. So not going to get caught out in those scenarios, and it's almost, again, when to rein back this aggression is something I think ZywOo has to learn, but as we've seen so far, he's definitely capable of hitting those shots. Another not necessarily negative example of this very aggressive or re-peaky style from ZywOo is this one here, where he's almost like a really overhyped kid on sugar, wanting to re-peak all the angles over and over again, despite having Happy here to help him out. So Happy's going to flash him in towards Monster Tunnel here once the execute start comes in from Spirit, so it's a good flash from him, and he's going to find a couple of kills. So ZywOo wants to peek out here towards short. He's going to find this contact, but he really wants to peek in here. Look, he comes back, he wants to face short before coming back towards long and finding that peak. And he's re-peeking these things over and over again and giving Spirit opportunities to potentially punish him. He doesn't necessarily need to peek short like this and then come back towards Monster. He can just hold an angle towards Monster, hug this wall, delay time for Spirit, because Happy is here. He's looking towards the barrel, but he was looking towards short here. He can hold short for ZywOo. ZywOo's got this Monster area. They can play together, but ZywOo almost feels like he has to cover everything himself, kind of like if you were in an FPL or a PUG game. He wants to swing between all these areas. You can see on the X-ray here, Happy's got short even here, so ZywOo's like, I got short, and then he's back towards Monster, and then he's back towards short. He said the whole time Happy's got it, and he's like, he's probably thinking like, bro, just relax. I've got these angles. Obviously the time runs out in this scenario, so it's not a massive issue. But if he does go down with maybe 14 seconds left because he's re-peaking short and Monster, Happy potentially goes down in a very unlikely scenario, and Spirit have an opening into this round when you could just play passive, play with your teammates. Again, not punishing this scenario ZywOo, but the openings he's creating are there, and sometimes, in my opinion, they're a little bit unnecessary. One thing not many people can argue with though is that ZywOo's brand of Counter-Strike is definitely entertaining to watch. His aggressive style in general is very good to watch, but when you have the aim to back it up, such as this player does, he's going to find the kills such as this clip you already saw in the intro, but I'm sure none of you will mind seeing it again, and Spirit players, they just get picked off one at a time. So I think ZywOo definitely has the ability to do what he's doing right now, absolutely decimate some of these players. However, I want to see him play better opponents. I want to see teams such as Liquid, Astralis, FaZe even, some of these upper or higher tier teams who might punish him for making these aggressive peaks, which I think he might have to learn the hard way eventually, obviously working with some of these French veterans. So definitely has the skill. You can see here in this scenario, even more kills coming in, crazy shots, always entertaining as I said. I think he's definitely got some talent behind him. However, I think he's got a little bit of learning to do. And I think when he versus some of these better teams, he might get punished a little bit. However, if he learns from this, there's no issues at all in my mind. And I think he can definitely develop into a very strong player. That is it, guys. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy this kind of content. And I will catch you all in the next video.